Before this channel had a single script to make, before the SCP Foundation had a name, it had this. One statue. One rule. Nothing else. As long as someone is looking directly at it, it cannot move at all. Look away. Blink, even for a second, and the distance between you closes faster than you can react. This is SCP-173. The sculpture. This is the complete story of the page that started everything. Item number 173. Not the lowest number in the archive, the very first one ever actually written. Every SCP that came after it, including every entry this channel has ever covered, exists because this one came first. Its object class is Euclid. Not fully understood, not always predictable. It's a strange classification for something whose entire behavior fits into 2 short paragraphs. And yet, somehow, it's exactly right. The file describes it plainly. Constructed from concrete and rebar. Traces of Krylon brand spray paint mark its upper section, roughly where a face would be. Its origin, according to the file, is unknown. It simply was. One day, somewhere the Foundation could find it. There's no elaborate lore behind its face. No hidden symbol. No secret meaning, according to the file itself. It's just paint on concrete, crude and uneven, exactly the way someone might mark a statue in a hurry. Somehow, that simplicity is what makes it memorable. Nothing about it tries too hard to be frightening. The containment procedures come down to one central requirement. Line of sight must never be broken. At least 2 people must maintain direct eye contact with it at all times, for as long as anyone remains inside the chamber. The moment that observation lapses, even briefly, containment stops meaning anything at all. The file accounts for something nobody can actually avoid forever. Blinking. Personnel are instructed to alert each other before it happens, so at least one set of eyes stays on the statue at all times. It's not a solution. It's a workaround for something the human body was never built to avoid. When it does get the chance to move, the file records exactly 2 outcomes, a broken neck or strangulation. Nothing more elaborate than that. No special ability beyond simple, immediate physical violence. In the event of an attack, personnel are instructed to follow Class 4 Hazardous Object Procedure. The file doesn't spell out what that means here. A reddish-brown substance is periodically found on the chamber floor. The file identifies it plainly. A mixture of feces and blood. It's a strange, almost mundane detail for a file this short to include, and that's exactly why it works. Personnel report a sound of scraping stone coming from inside the sealed chamber when nobody is present. The file states this is considered normal and doesn't need to be reported unless the pattern of the sound ever changes, which means, as far as the Foundation is concerned, something is always moving in there. Just never while anyone can see it. Routine cleaning requires exactly 3 people, no fewer. The door is relocked the moment they're inside. 2 keep their eyes on SCP-173 without pause. The 3rd does the actual work. It's one of the smallest, most human details in the whole file. Somebody, on a schedule, still has to clean up after it. The file references a protocol category most readers will never see fully explained. Class 4 Hazardous Object Procedure. It's a small piece of a much larger administrative structure, glimpsed only through a single citation. The file records one specific date, moved to Site 19 in 1993. Nothing about how it was found or where it was before that is ever explained. Step outside the fiction, and the real answer is stranger than anything the file admits. In June of 2007, an anonymous user posted this exact text to a message board dedicated to paranormal discussion. The post is credited, on the wiki's own records, to the author name Moto42. Other readers responded by writing their own entries in the same format. Within months, there were enough to need an actual site. For years, the article displayed a photograph most readers assumed was simply a prop made for the site. It wasn't. It was a real sculpture, made by a real working artist, photographed for an entirely different purpose. Nobody involved with the SCP Wiki had ever secured the rights to use it. In 2022, the photograph was formally removed from the article entirely, not for any change in the story. Purely because the site's entire model depends on content it's actually allowed to share freely. The artist, when it mattered, still allowed limited non-commercial use of the image elsewhere out of goodwill. The Foundation's own article, however, no longer carries it. Every other file on the wiki gets revised over time, rewritten, expanded, sometimes replaced entirely. SCP-173 is the one deliberate exception. Its text is preserved exactly as it was first written, not because it's the best written entry in the archive, because it's the one that started it. There's no elaborate backstory here, no addendum, no interview, just a locked door and a rule about not blinking. That simplicity turned out to be the format's greatest strength. Anyone could read it in a minute and immediately understand exactly what to write next. Thousands of entries later, most of them owe their entire structure to 2 short paragraphs written in 2007. Most of what this channel covers is dense. Long addenda, tangled histories, years of documented incidents. This one is the opposite, on purpose. A statue, a rule, a stain on the floor that means exactly what it says. It didn't need decades of expansion to work. It only needed one good idea, executed without unnecessary padding. Somewhere at Site 19 tonight, 2 people are still watching it. Neither one has blinked yet. A locked door, a rule about blinking, and an entire archive that grew out of exactly that much. That's SCP-173. The sculpture. All information in this video comes directly from scp-wiki.wiki.com/scp-173. The SCP Foundation is a collaborative fiction project. This page and everything it inspired is shared under Creative Commons. The full file is free to read at scpwiki.com. Next week on Shroudex Explain. Watch and subscribe so you don't miss it.